It's me, Ronnie Tomlinson, and you know who my beautiful girlfriend is, Niki Rowe. And like I've told you already, I'm moving to Long Island, New York, somewhere in 2024, and I'm doing 100% good on my savings. But I want to reach to a certain amount, to my satisfactory before I go, to make sure I want to purchase, rent to own a trailer or a small house in Long Island, New York, close to where Niki lives at. Niki's my very first and only love, period. Like I've said before, she's my very first and only love, period, from beginning to end of my whole entire life and world. Niki is my number one woman. I mean, no woman in this world exists to me but Niki. Period. From beginning to end of my life and world. I love her so much. She's my soulmate. She's my heart and soul. Like I've said several times before. And like I've said, I love her and care about her so much, and I want to be with her in person and everything. I want to be a part of her life in person. And, like I was saying too, that I finished my assessment test at BTCT here in Lexington. But due to Christmas and New Year, they said, my first class would be, my first class begins, my actual class, begins January 8th at 12:45 p.m. And, and I wanted to say too that, I'm proving once and for all how much I truly love and want to be with Niki. I'm proving how much I truly love and want to be with Niki in person. Like I said, she's my soulmate in heart and soul. And, like I was saying, I've said before and everything that, which was my fault, like I got my reasons for moving here, and, nobody bothers nobody and everything like that, but, there is, and forgive me for the way I'm saying this, and I ain't making fun of nobody, but there's a lot of people, around here that don't act like they're not wrapped too tight, and there's some troublemakers. They act like troublemakers around here, but it was my fault. When I first moved here, I was meaning, I was met. My intentions was to be neighborly, but sitting out in the lobby having conversations with people in this building, and the building I live in, wasn't really a good idea and everything. Being neighborly, being nice and neighborly, and treat people how you want to be treated, but, being neighborly, hi and goodbye. If somebody says hi, say hi back, hi and goodbye, and everything like that, but not sitting out there having conversations with them, because it looked like it was actually good, starting to head into a problem. And I didn't, I got my reasons for moving here, and I, in the first place, I got my own reasons for moving here, so I cut myself out of that. I made that promise to and for Niki, and I don't care who it is, out there, they try to talk. I'm not, I'm just going to say hi, goodbye, you have a good day, I got to go, and then go about my business. So, that's another promise I'm keeping for, the rest of my time here, because, I'm not making friends around here. I don't want no friends around here. I don't want no friends, really, I don't want no friends in Lexington, period. The only friend I got in Lexington is actually, the preacher at the Broadway Christian Church where I go to church. And the only woman friend that I have in my whole entire life and world is Niki Rowe. And I want to be with her in person more than anything in this world. So I want to be with her in person so much. And I wanted to also go ahead and let you know I'm going to go back to working part-time and everything. But, I've said this already before too, and I'm sorry not to be repeating anything. I know I've done that, and I do apologize. But I'm just going to go ahead and say that, before when I had those thoughts about going back to Rose's off of Winchester Road here in Lexington, I'm not going back there to work. I mean, I worked there before, and I did it for Niki because of my love for Niki. But when I was at the other place and everything, but I didn't do, so I really worked there for nothing because my meanings of working there was to save. But, so I didn't do it at that time. So, I really worked there for nothing and everything. And I wanted to also, let you know that, and everything that you already know. I mean, I know I've said this before. I mean, I definitely laid that out there. I laid a truth. I make my videos as truthful as possible. And, but these girls that work over there at Rose's, they act like, and forgive me for the way I got to say this, but they act, not saying that's what they are, but they act like prostitutes. And they forgive my language again, but they act slutty, and everything. And, but I mean, I've ran into a bunch of garbage downtown, all over downtown Lexington. I mean, but that goes for any downtown of any state. I mean, every state I've ever been in, downtowns are not no good. Anyway, but and everything. But since I've lived downtown here, that's pretty much all I've seen was the craziest, slimiest, nasty. Not saying not everybody now, but a lot more of it. I've seen nothing but more, rude, disrespectful, garbage, and everything. And the only part of Lexington that's actually any good that I've ever seen since I've lived in Lexington was actually Richmond Road. And that's like where Niki's living at and everything. Long Island is wonderful, and a few of the other states too. But downtown, from what I heard, is not very good. Downtown in Harlem, places like that. But I'm moving to Long Island, to where Niki and her town, to where she lives at, because I want to get up with her in person. We've been friends. She's the love of my life. She's my actually first and only real love. She's my very first and only true love, real love in my whole entire life in the world. From the very beginning to end of my whole entire life and world. She's my heart and soul, she's my heart and soul and soulmate. And I'm going to proceed in acting because I want to perform, and I'm going to also do a little real estate on the side and everything. But like I was saying, I'm doing 100% good on my savings. I'm doing better than I have ever done in years. I'm doing 100% good on my savings. And it's every day's getting better and better, because I know where I'm going and who I'm going to be with and who I'm going to see one day real soon. So that's making you know who that is. My one and only love, Niki. So that's what's making every day better and better for me. And I love y'all, and I get you with a part 2, and you'll definitely be seeing a lot of me for Christmas and New Year, which is coming up. I mean, I'll do 2 or 3 videos on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And, like I do for every holiday. And I love y'all, and I'll be back. Thanks.